Hello. Merry Christmas. It's Christmas Eve as I record this. I haven't done this in a while. I am way out of practice. Never mind talking to camera, talking at all, recording video. Yeah, I know you've been seeing videos uploaded like twice a week or whatever, but I recorded all of those in June. Yeah, been so tied up doing my degree course and whatnot that I recorded all of those in a big batch in June and just uploaded them to a week since then, and I can't remember if I've done anything talking to camera in that time, but it's a long time since I've done this, so out of practice. What have I got to talk about? Milestones. There have been a couple of milestones for my channel, on my channel, whatever, in the past couple of weeks. 16,000 subscribers. Big thank you to everyone who has subscribed, because 16,000 is a very nice number. It gobsmacks me that people still want to watch, because I mean it has been remarked on by one or two people that my channel and what I do on it hasn't changed in the 8 years that it's been here. Well, no, it hasn't, because I like doing it this way, and it seems that some of you like to watch, so that's cool. It never ceases to amaze me that people will watch someone playing games badly and blather on mindlessly about it, but people do, and I am thrilled and continue to be thrilled. Yeah. Other milestone, 5 million views. Yeah, okay, you lot are mad, of course, but thank you for everyone who has subscribed and everyone who has watched, anyone who's watched. It makes doing this worthwhile, you know. I don't get nearly enough time to do this because I like doing this, but it's just a thrill that people watch. Backdrop, you've probably noticed there is like dash cam footage and CCTV of me rushing to the shops to do my Christmas shopping. Honest. Yeah, that's Drive Club. I just thought it's got Christmas street decorations. It reminds me of Stony Stratford when I was a kid. I think it's still like that there. I think that footage will run out before this video runs out, so you'll probably see full-sized me filling the screen in a little bit. But anyway, that's assuming I worked out the picture-in-picture, and I should be sitting in the bottom right somewhere right now. Who knows? My editing skills are whatever. What have I got to talk about on this video? Well, I'm showing the room with a couple of dogs. Literally, Bay is out the window being a knob. Yeah, video response. This is a video response to Rob GigerPunk, who tagged me, who did a video response to, I think it was Lord Such. 10 questions from Rob, this is titled, because he posted 10 questions to me. He just posted his video yesterday. And then he's like giving me 10 questions which I'm answering today. They're kind of, some are a bit random and some are gaming related and some are Christmas related, and you know, he asked me would I do this. I said yes, because I've got a lot of time for Rob. If you're not familiar with him and his channel, link below, go check him out. And indeed I'll link to Lord Such as well, because he's well worth watching. He just hit his 500 subscriber milestone just a day or so ago, something. Yeah, go check him out as well. Question 1. Bacon and egg sarnie or BLT? Neither, to be honest. I do like bacon and I like egg, but you put them both together and I will get the most terrible indigestion. I just can't handle them together. It's fatty. I've got a very sensitive digestive system, and anything oily and fatty and greasy and whatever just gives me indigestion, to the point that I will throw up. If I eat a bacon and egg sandwich, I will throw up, quite literally. I'll enjoy eating it greatly, but within half an hour, yeah, I can't handle it. Fried egg sandwich, on the other hand, yes, I eat those on a regular basis. BLT, I used to like BLTs until about a year ago. A shop bought BLT from the shop across the road. Pretty damn sure there was something wrong with that, because within half an hour of eating it, spot of food poisoning there, I think. Wasn't good, and I've never eaten a BLT since. I also don't. I'm kind of wary of shop bought sandwiches. Never buy them from that shop anymore. Paranoia, maybe. Who knows? I won't name them. Yeah. Question 2. Wet shave or electric? Let me think. What? Shave? What are you talking about? I don't remember the last time I shaved. It was a very, very long time ago. But back in the day when I did shave, I've never used an electric shaver in my life. I'd use an electric beard trimmer to sort this out on occasion. But when I shaved, it was always a wet shave. And I tried many different types of razor. Expensive ones, cheap ones, you name it. Because it just used to irritate the crap out of my skin. I'd come up in welts and everything. I couldn't shave every day. It would just make such a mess of my skin. So I'd do it every other day. But I'd come up with sores and all kinds of crap. And I did find that the only razor I could get on with that wouldn't tear my face to pieces or leave me in sores and all sorts of stuff was the cheap disposable Gillette Blue 2. I don't know if they still make them, but that's what I used to use. I found the worst thing I ever used was a Bic disposable. They were horrendous. I don't know if they still make them either, but they literally, I could not use one without cutting myself to ribbons. I'd use a Bic razor and I'd look like Freddy Krueger by the end of it. They were shocking. Question 3. Can you remember the first game you bought with your own cold hard cash? No. To be honest, it was a very long time ago. I can remember what system it was for. It was for the Atari 2600. But which game it was, I really don't know. I remember what games I had, and I remember what games I got fairly early on. But some of them were given to me like for birthday and Christmas presents, because for a long time I couldn't afford to buy them myself. I got a £1 a week pocket money at that time, and games were 30 quid. So it wouldn't have been until, probably 1980. I don't know if it was 84 or 85. I would have been working at the Barley Mow in Cosgrove, and I would have started earning some money there, and that's when I would have started buying my own games. It certainly wasn't Enduro. I remember that was a Christmas present. Might have been Galaxian. Maybe. Might have been Battlezone. I rented games quite often. There was a shop in Stony Stratford that they rented them like 50p for 3 days or something for an Atari game, and I rented quite a few from there. But I don't remember the exact game, the first one I bought, but it was for the Atari. Question 4. What was the last game you bought a physical copy of? That would be Battlefield 4 on the PS4, which is, for a current gen game, is quite old, because, and I've had it on the PS3 for a long time. It was my go-to game on the PS3 for ages. And I got a PS4 a couple of months ago, and I don't have a lot of time to play games. I've not got, I'm looking over there because it's over there, not got many games on it. I tried the freebies with PlayStation Plus. I say free, it's kind of like you've only got them for as long as you've got an active PlayStation Plus account, so it's kind of like they're borrowed on a long-term basis. But anyway, I've got a few of those, like they're cheap, budgety things. But actual full price games that I've bought, not got many. And because I don't have much time to play games, I don't have time to get involved in a storyline. But I like... Bay, shut up. I like first-person shooters and I like driving games. So on the PS3, my go-to games were Battlefield 4 and Gran Turismo. Well, Gran Turismo's not out on the PS3. Did I say PS3? Whatever. On the PS4, it's Drive Club because there's no Gran Turismo, and Battlefield 4. Again, I bought Star Wars Battlefront and it looks lovely. It really does, and it plays well, but it's just slightly lacking. After playing Battlefield 4, Battlefront is... It's like a really nice burger, when what you really want is a steak, and Battlefield 4 is that steak. It's just got more. It's got, you know, you can really get your teeth into it. And I bought it second hand. One of your chav converter shops, I can't even remember what the name of the place was. It cost me about £12. Yeah. Question 5. I can lose hours to Civilization and the like, so avoid them like the plague now. Are there any games that are dangerous like that for you? There used to be. In that I just don't have the time to play games anymore. But back when I did, Minecraft, it would be too easy to lose my entire life to that game if I didn't have my head buried in a load of photography degree course stuff. If I had spare time, if I played Minecraft, I could completely lose myself in that. It's the freedom and the creative side. I have played survival mode on that, and I die quite frequently. But the ability to just build stuff and make stuff, I mean, I never got into the details of how to make things work. Crafting and stuff, I don't care about that. And making funny weird circuits and stuff with that red thing, whatever. I never got into the advanced stuff. But just like sculpture and architecture and that, yeah, I found that fascinating. But I have to avoid that game because it would be too easy to lose myself. Battlefield 4, I can lose myself in that. I play it downstairs in the living room. It used to be, when I was playing on the PS3, it was upstairs in the games room. But I have the PS4 downstairs because we've got a bigger telly and it's a higher resolution telly, and it sounds daft. Andrea is down here. That's not daft. If I play upstairs, I will play and I will not notice the time, and I will lose a whole day up there. And if I play down here after I've played for a little while, Andrea will be, right, come on, let's watch some telly or do something, or go, just, you know, back to the real world now, please. That kind of thing. Because, yeah, if I'm playing Battlefield, I can, if not brought back down to earth, just I'll go on there and stay there. It's too easy to lose track, really. It's not that I prefer it to the real world, you just lose track. Question 6. What's your happiest Christmas memory? Whether best for the gifts, like games, computers you received that year, or a year it actually snowed, or whatever. Good question. I'm not actually sure. I mean, I have two different eras of good Christmas, and currently, like living here with Andrea and spending Christmas, we do the big family Christmas, and they're getting bigger. The number of people is increasing because there are like partners and marriages and babies and stuff among Andrea's offspring. My daughters and stepson. They're you know, it's a growing family, and so Christmas is getting big, and they're fun. Are you done? Are you sure? Gotta see off the invaders. There'll be someone daring to walk down the street. Yeah, current Christmases are invariably brilliant. Nostalgia-wise, there are two Christmases that I always remember. One more vaguely than the other, because they're both a long while ago, but one's a really long while ago. There was a year we went to my grandmother's, but we always went to my grandmother's place on Christmas Day. And this one year I had got for Christmas, my main present was Enduro on the Atari 2600. And I took my 2600 and a portable black and white telly with me to the grandparents' place. And I spent all day playing Enduro. And they were like, "Are you alright?" They thought I was like sad or avoiding everyone. I was inclined to avoid everyone anyway. People. But anyway, no, I was having a whale of a time just sitting there playing Enduro, and I played it all day pretty much. That was a good one. There's another one that comes to mind. We still lived at Toaster, which is like the first town I lived. So it would have been pre-1977. I was probably 5 or 6 or something like that. And my present was or main present, or one of, was a go-kart. It was like a pedal kart. It was red. It had a board on the front where, say on some karts you might have a number. This had my name painted on it, and I thought it was really special. I loved it, and I spent the day pedaling up and down like this is going to sound wrong, the back passage. We had a long passageway that ran from the front to the rear of the house, and you could just fit this pedal cart in it, and I just went up and down and up and down, and I loved it. My mother always kind of felt bad about it, that my dad gave me that as a Christmas present, because it turns out it was just a chassis of something more, I don't know. He retrieved it from a skip and just painted it up. Yeah, and she always thought cheapskate, and when I look at it now I think cheapskate, but at the time I loved it. It had my name on it. It was my go-kart, whatever it might have been before it went into the skip. 7. What game have you been most surprised by upon revisiting, either by it being far better or far worse than you remembered, or just by being completely different to your memories of it? Do you know what? I should have I should have done a bit of preparation, because I have no idea. No, I don't. I think generally I kind of remember games fairly accurately. I can't think of a single game. Is there a single game I've ever gone back to and found it to be rubbish? Yes. Strikers Run on the Acorn Electron. Actually, when I think about it, quite a few games on the Acorn Electron at the time I thought were... I always knew they were a little bit wooden, a little bit clunky, but nah, got it, yep. On the Acorn Electron, Commando. When I played it back in the day, I was aware that it was a bit slow. But I thought it was playable, you know. It was nice to have time to think about what you were going to do before the bullets got to you. I think the bullets could have got there, send a telegram, bang, you're dead. 3 weeks later it gets there, and it'd still be quicker than the bullets arriving. Yeah, at the time I was aware of it being a little bit slow, but you know, I thought it's still a playable game, it's still fun. I go back to it now, Jesus, it is appalling, it is shocking, I've got a video of it, or it's on my channel somewhere, maybe I'll link to it if I can find it, get round to it, something. Appalling game, appallingly slow. It's terrible. You played the Spectrum version, that's great, that's so playable, it's really quick and impressive. And you see the Electron one, it's like, what were they thinking of? I mean, it's like it wasn't... I doubt that it was programmed in BASIC, but I wonder if they could have done it better if it had been. Awful. What question was that? That was 7. Question 8. Do you have a system that got away? One that you almost bought but didn't and now regret, or that you once owned and have since lost? There are a few that I have sort of wanted to buy as a retro purchase, but I haven't bought retro systems in quite a long while because I don't have the money, and I've filled the room, the games room. I have no shelf space left, so I don't buy stuff anymore, and the odd handheld thing here and there. I mean, I have if I had money and space and whatever time, there are still a lot of systems I'd like to get, and I suppose one of the ones that sits at the top of that list is the Acorn Atom, just because I used one back in the day. I had a friend who lived across the road from me. He had one for a little while before he got an Electron, and I remember sitting in his bedroom, and I was reading out the code and he was typing it. And he typed in, it was a centipede game. It never worked right, that I remember. It worked to the point that we could see what it was meant to be. But as was the way with type-ins back then, you type it all in and it still doesn't work. Yeah, I don't recall ever actually playing a game that worked on it, but it was interesting. I liked the way it looked. They're a cool looking computer. I think reliability wise, they're you know, big motherboard, wires, big fat chips, they're inclined to break. They're fragile, they're old, they're very expensive. So I don't know if I'll ever have one, and if I did, I don't know if I would dare use it over much, even if there was software available for it. Yeah, that's one that got away. One that I owned, and I didn't lose it, it just conked out in the end. And I would like to get again, and it's kind of common actually, it's a little tabletop game, Astro Wars by Grandstand. I've got a few tabletop and handheld things over the past year, and I like those things, and Astro Wars is one I would like to get. That and Galaxy Invader 1000, the yellow one with the red button. They were great. I mean, they're so limited and everything, but I think Astro Wars was probably the best. And that little piece of music it played, I think I heard that recently on Mooncrester. Same piece of music. I'm going to guess Astro Wars stole it from Mooncrester and not the other way around. Okay, 9. You've inspired lots of people to start up gaming YouTube channels, but what inspired you to start? Yeah. My first video on this channel was nothing to do with gaming. It was, I used to go on a webcam chat room channel thing. It was a website called Stickcam, and I would run a webcam and chat with people on there. But I used to go to another webcam page, another person on that site. Can't remember what her name was. What country was she from? Bolivia or Venezuela or somewhere like that. And there would be like lots of, I guess they were quite younger than me, people who just for whatever reason were amused by my English accent. So I would sit there and I would read children's stories in a really quirky, stupid, kind of twisted manner and just mess them about, but do it like stereotypical Englishmen. And they found it very entertaining. And I thought, well, this is a thing. People seem to like this. What if I was to record it and make a video of it? Because YouTube was a fairly newish thing at that time, and I thought maybe there'd be an audience for this. So I recorded one. What was it called? I can't remember. I still have the video, but it's no longer on this channel because in the end I decided I'm reading someone else's book. And that's like copyright, and I didn't want to get any copyright issues, so I took it down, but I still have the video. Dudley and the Monster, that's what it was called. So yeah, my first video on YouTube was called Dudley and the Monster. I uploaded that. It got a few hundred views, I guess. And I uploaded nothing for ages after that. My next video was of the dogs when they were still puppies racing around in the garden, and I think that one is still on here. I think you can still find that one on this channel. Pretty sure it's probably listed as the first video on this channel, I think. Could be wrong. I might have moved it onto my Benway's World channel. I'm pretty sure it's still up there somewhere. Anyway, and again, I just didn't use the channel for much at all. Didn't know what to make videos of, so I mostly didn't make videos. Then I did one showing my collection, my consoles and computers. I'd got the big games room at that time, and I just like walked around and pointed the camera at all of the systems and everything. And was asked by several people, and the one who comes to mind is Dino the Legend, said, will you show us what games you've got? Now, whether or not he meant show them in their cases or show us them playing, I don't know, but I took it as meaning show them, you know, play them, show us what they look like. So I started doing that. I started doing the gameplay videos. In the early days, and you will notice this if you go back and see some of those earliest videos, and they're not all there. I took some down for reasons, but there are still some very early ones there. I didn't really know how to go about it. I mean, at that time there weren't many retro gaming YouTube channels. I wasn't the first, not by a long way, but there weren't many. There were lots of channels that had just gameplay but no commentary. And then there was Angry Video Game Nerd. And I knew I didn't want to do what he was doing, because why do what someone else is doing? But I didn't really want to just do bare gameplay with no commentary, because what would there be to differentiate my channel from any other channel? That seemed pointless. So I decided I needed to speak, but I didn't really know what to say. So my early videos, they're very straight, very just minimalist. You know, a few words here and there, and not much to set them apart, not much. They were boring. And then I saw a channel called Collie UK, who was a chap who sadly isn't making videos anymore. He's still out there. He tweets from time to time. He got married and had kids and is a responsible chap now, which is shocking. Because if you see his videos, he used to like come home on a Saturday night or whatever, pissed, and play Spectrum games badly and talk the most incredible pissed up shite in the best possible way. They're hysterical. And I kind of realised shut up! Oi! Quiet! No, really. Quiet. Max, shut your gob. Yeah, you can say that. I saw what Collie was doing, And I thought, okay, shut up! There is an audience for nonsense. Now, I wasn't going to go, shut up! I wasn't going to go and play games whilst drunk. But also, I wasn't going to take myself seriously either. It was clear, it's possible to just... Where was I? I was answering the door. It was an Amazon delivery. I wish they'd knocked louder. The dogs could hear it, but I couldn't. I just thought the dogs were being arseholes, because they're inclined to do that. Where was I? Yeah, I realised, not take myself too seriously, have a laugh, don't worry about practising, don't worry about playing well, don't worry about looking like you know what you're doing, just pick it up, plug it in, play it, figure it out as you go along and talk while doing it. Give your first impressions. If you're having a laugh, go with it. If it's rubbish, go with it. Just an honest reaction and humour where it fits or where it's possible or when the mood takes me. So yeah, there might be an argument to say I copied Collie UK. I don't think I did. I was definitely influenced by him. He was a major influence on the way I decided to start doing my channel. It wasn't that I was like, yeah, I'm going to do what he's doing. It was the realization you don't have to take it too seriously. You can do it rough and ready and people will watch. And that's what I did. And it, to the extent that people are still watching, it worked. And it's a lot of fun. And it is so much more fun than any... I've tried to do things seriously on occasion. Very rarely, actually. You know, there was... I had a period where I thought, okay, I want to edit things properly and maybe try and do things properly. Certainly while doing system reviews, full reviews, research and find out everything you can and do it as well as you can. I don't do those anymore because it's not fun. You know, if I've got something new now, I'll just give an overview of it. I'll tell you what I know about it and that's it. And that's... I guess I'm not trying to be informative so much as just share what I know or what I find out whilst messing around with the game and trying to be spontaneous, I think. Yeah. Some people like a slick channel and that's cool and there are plenty of those. This ain't one of them and it never will be. Question 10. Mousetrap or Kerplunk? Well, there's a thing, isn't it? If you were to go by the advert on the telly, it would be Mousetrap, because my God, that looks like a brilliant contraption. But that's the thing, the mechanism is fascinating. You know, the ball goes down the thing and all kinds of stuff happens and eventually the trap catches the mouse and it looks brilliant, especially if you're a kid. But the reality of the game is very different. You've got the whole board thing and you're moving around and chucking your dice and I don't know what, and that's boring. And that's what 99% of the game is, moving around a board and wishing you could get to the bit where you set the ball rolling. And then when you do get there, you set the ball rolling and it goes around or whatever it's on, and then something or other doesn't work. The mechanism doesn't work, something misses or doesn't get triggered, or I can't. Never, a friend had it, I never had it, but I got to play it once and it didn't really work. So the idea of Mousetrap is fantastic. The reality of it is it's crap. So Kerplunk, I would say, as a game, I mean, it at least works. You know, you've got your thing, your tube, and you've got your cocktail sticks or whatever they are, and your marbles, and you pull the sticks out. It doesn't look visually in the advert as brilliant as Mousetrap, but the reality is it's a game that works, and you can win or lose through skill and playing it the way it's meant to be played. Both are games that, I don't know, they both kind of look more appealing than they are, but at least Kerplunk works. So I would have to say that. Yeah, never had either. Can't remember, did we have any of those cool games? Connect 4 is kind of fun, I guess, among those games. Operation, we've actually, have we got that? I'm pretty sure I saw that recently somewhere around. We've got assorted board games and things scattered around this house, and we never actually play them. Yeah, I think video games kind of killed off board games largely. Though I actually designed a board game when I was doing my design course for my Open University degree, before I switched over to this other college thing and doing the photography one. Part of the design course was to design a board game, and I designed a really complex game based on supermarket chains. The whole idea sounds boring as hell, but the game itself is quite complex and fun to play. I kind of told myself at the time, yeah, when I finish this degree I'll market this thing and it'll sell and I'll make millions. Yeah, can't be bothered with that. No, I just don't think it would not be possible to market in a way that anyone would think, oh, I really want to run a supermarket chain on a board game. It doesn't matter that the game is actually fun. I don't think it's marketable. Shame, but there it is. I have come to the end of my 10 questions. The way these things work, I was tagged. I'm probably meant to be tagging someone and coming up with 10 questions. I haven't nominated anyone yet or asked anyone if they would like to be, and I haven't got 10 questions yet, so I may or may not get round to that, but I'm not naming anyone in this video because of those. What are you doing, dog? Look, you can't get through there, there's no gap. If you're going to come through, you've got to come in front of me. This way. No? What do you want? It's Max. He's being a div. He's found the Christmas. He knew the Christmas tree was there and hasn't shown any interest in it until now, but now he's interested. Yeah, okay, that is that. That is my 10 questions from Rob, GigerPunk. Thank you, Rob. They were great questions, and I've enjoyed answering them. All that really leaves me to say is I hope you have a great Christmas, and thank you to the people who sent me cards. You know who you are, and it does make me smile to get cards from YouTubers, because it's like, no, really, no. Not many people know where I live, which I kind of keep it that way deliberately, and it's always a surprise when a card comes through the door, so thank you. Yes, I hope you all have a great Christmas, and don't get too drunk, or if you do, I hope your hangover's not too bad. Thank you for watching. Max says hi, and feed him.
What's that? Christmas? No, I can't bear it. Ho, ho, ho. God help me.